What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Dylan. Back with another video. It is Thursday. And I don't even know if I'm going to do a post game clip today, to keep it real with you, man, because the Lakers, Anthony Davis and LeBron James have been ruled out for today's game against the Celtics. I know Anthony Davis has been dealing with like a hip issue since the Warriors game where he came back and played through it and tried to play through it against the Rockets too, but you could tell he was kind of not 100%. He was moving around kind of gingerly and not able to contest at the rim like he normally does and things like that. So you already know if he's not able to play the back line of defense for the Lakers defense is looking atrocious as it is. But I pretty much wanted to come on here today and talk about the state of the Lakers, like what my opinion is of the team so far, if the in-season tournament was a fluke, if this team is even talented enough to be in the playoffs, right? So first I want to start off with the fact that I feel injuries have definitely played a role. I mean, one of our best defenders, Vando, was hurt at the beginning of the season, which definitely made it difficult for the Lakers to establish that rhythm and to also stick with that lineup that they had from that postseason run we had last year with D'Lo, Reeves, Vando, LeBron, and AD. That lineup hasn't seen very many minutes on the floor, but with the minutes that they have been on the floor, they've actually been pretty good. So I'm advocating at this point to have a plus defender next to Reeves or D'Angelo. So even if you go with let's say we go with D'Lo, Max Christie, Vando, LeBron, AD, you have more defense out there on the court. You have more athleticism. You have more hustle, more shooting. Yes, Vando isn't a great shooter, but he's actually hit the last couple threes he's taken, so he's actually not shooting that bad. But he's also a force on the offensive rebounds. He's going to hustle. He's going to fight through screens. He's going to try to, just put the extra effort in that isn't always being seen by most of the players on the court. So I think that they have to start switching up these rotations, man, once everybody comes back healthy and everything. And I also think that Gabe Vincent would have been definitely useful for the Lakers with his shot-making ability. He's actually a good passer as well. He's actually a really good defender for POA as a point guard, at least to guard point guards. I'm not saying he can guard like a 2 or 3, but he could definitely guard his position pretty well. And you saw flashes of that before he got hurt. But in my mind, man, honestly, I really don't feel like the in-season tournament was a fluke. I mean, as much as people want to say, oh, yeah, teams weren't trying, LeBron was the only one that was trying, that's cap. Like, everybody wants to win an extra $500,000, bro. Get out of here. If it was me, my ass would be playing my ass off for that money, too. So stop it with the cap. So, but if you look at the difference of how they were playing defense in the in-season tournament as opposed to after, they were hedging, they were trapping, like they were forcing the ball out of their best players' hands, and they weren't playing zone. They were going man to man, and you could see the difference in between the effort that they put on defense now. Like now they're playing zone, they're leaving shooters wide open. Like how are you going to play zone when teams that you're playing against are excellent 3-point shooting teams? You can't play a zone against that. So it's just funny how it all works, and I think this is just a big coaching issue. So that's when I go to Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham knows what defense was effective for them. I mean, he brought them to the West Conference Finals last year against. They had to go through the Warriors. They had to go through who else? The Grizzlies and the Warriors, and they were both good teams. It ain't like they were slack. They were weak. If John Morant doesn't get hurt his hand, I think the Grizzlies push it to 6 or 7 games. It wouldn't have been a 4-1 series like it was for the Lakers. I think it was 4-1 or 4-2. It would have been a 6-7 game series for sure. So the question I ask myself is, what happened to Darvin Ham's schemes since the in-season tournament? Because before that, they were kind of up and down too as well, but they weren't as up and down as they are right now. And that in-season tournament, I saw effort from every player on the floor. Even D'Angelo Russell's defense fell off a cliff. Like in the beginning of the season, this dude was putting in effort. He was fighting through screens. He was getting up in guards, getting up in their chest, bro. It's like, but now you can just see the energy. Like they come out lethargic, and if you come out lethargic in the first quarter, and then you have an older team for the most part, it's going to be hard to try to pull energy out of that and come back and then take a lead and then maintain a lead. Like you're pretty much starting off with your foot off the gas, and then you try to put it on the gas, and by the time you try to put it on the gas, it doesn't really make a difference because the other team is going to build momentum or just hit threes, and then the Lakers end up losing momentum because They're not a great three-point shooting team. So once the other team starts hitting threes again, the Lakers start just kind of forcing shit, and then they mess up. So it's just funny how it all works at the end of the day. It's just like at some point, you know, there has to be some accountability on the players, accountability on the coaches for rotations and things like that. Like something has to change, man. And everybody's like, oh, it doesn't matter if they trade any players because head coach Darvin Ham is going to be whatever. And that might be the case. But in reality, if you started DeJounte Murray and D'Lo or DeJounte Murray and Austin Reeves, that's one player that's a defensive liability as opposed to two. And the other person that's on the field with him, on the court with him, DeJounte, can actually get his own bucket. He can get his own shot. He doesn't got to run off of screens every time. He's quick enough to get to the basket. He's quick enough to get to a spot and hit the mid-range. And he can be a spot-up shooter as well off ball. So, honestly, I personally feel like the Lakers are better than a 500 team. But I think that they played with their food too much early in the season. If you notice in certain games earlier in the season, like the teams that weren't very good, they would come out and they would play kind of half-ass. And then they would end up losing games to teams that they should have beat, like the Spurs and just different teams where you're just like, what? Like, how did you let this sub-500 team that's 10 games under 500 come out and beat you on the road or whatever? So it's like at some point, you can blame Coach Darvin Ham. I'm not saying his rotations haven't been stupid as hell because they have been. And Rui needs more minutes and Vandal needs more minutes and Taurean Prince needs less minutes. Taurean Prince needs about 15 minutes a night. Rui needs 25. Vandal needs 25, 30. Especially with Cam Reddish being out, so Cam can't relieve Vando like they would like to. So Vando needs 30 minutes a night, man, and that's facts. And Max Christie needs more minutes because he's a shooter just like Taurean Prince, except he can get to the rim and dunk, and he can also get rebounds. Like he does more on an effort standpoint and the intangibles as Taurean Prince. So I personally think that they're going to have to make a trade. I'm not sure if it's going to be DeJounte Murray, but they're going to have to start kind of doing something, bro, because this ain't working. The players looked disinterested. Christian Wood tweeting LOL, about these starting lineups. Jackson Hayes just, he needs to learn how to figure out how to not foul players every time they come into the rim because he's athletic. And if you saw in the Hawks game, he was getting easy lobs. He was getting lobs. He was getting out and running. When they get out and run, bro, he can score effectively in the transition offense, but he can't score very well in the half court because he doesn't have any post moves, and he's also skinny for a big. He doesn't have like the weight to carry like against a normal center in the league. So he's more of like a power forward hybrid, So I personally think that if the Lakers don't start picking up some wins after this Celtics loss, we're going to lose. I mean, we have fucking LeBron and Davis out the game. I mean, if we win this game, I'll be surprised because even with Davis and LeBron last time, they got beat, but it was more of an effort. So I feel like personally, if the Lakers don't start picking up some wins after this, Celtics game, so hopefully by the All-Star break time, they'll start looking better. And if they don't, man, this might just be one of those seasons, bro, where they are 10th seed for the whole year, rest of the next 30-so games, and they end up trying to fight in for a playing spot, and they might not make it. I mean, you got to think. You got teams like Dallas. You got teams like Pelicans. These teams are hungry. They're young. They come out with effort. They're led by coaches who trust their players, who are going to put their players in the best position possible. If Darvin Ham can't do that, I can't see him being a coach next year. I really can't. And I'll be surprised if he was, if they continue to have this slide. You can obviously see it. LeBron's done with this shit. He posted his little, hourglass, days of our lives and all that stuff. So he's getting sick of this shit because he's like, what the hell is going on with the rotations? It's just, they got to figure something out. I don't understand how the coaching dropped off so much since last year. And they keep playing drop coverage on teams that can shoot. Why are you playing drop coverage on a team that can shoot threes? Like, you play drop coverage on teams that drive to the basket a lot because you're giving them space. Not to teams that can blow your offense up with threes like the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of teams that's how teams are constructed now in the league, right? So, yeah, honestly, I feel like it's going to have to be some kind of changes, whether it's a marginal move for like a backup big and like maybe a Dorian Finney-Smith or maybe a Royce O'Neal, something like that. Shit, hey, maybe they can get Jeremy Grant. I don't know. It's just somebody who can create offense and actually defend on the perimeter consistently because, honestly, our wings are good. Like, Max Christie can defend, Cam can defend, Vando can defend, but their offense is all inconsistent. Even though Vando's been playing great of late, actually. But you got to look at that. So it's like, well, how can I upgrade these positions and have somebody who can come in and get their own shot? Instead of having LeBron at 39 have to create for everybody and run the offense. So I'm interested to see what happens in the next week because that's a trade deadline. Hopefully they'll make some around the edges moves. I don't know if Murray's going to be an option. It seems like they're kind of like they don't want to give up Reeves, but honestly, I personally would give up Reeves to get Murray. Honestly, I feel like it's a better fit. You'll have somebody who can start next to D'Lo, who can cover up some of his flaws, actually shoot the ball consistently and score. This dude Murray's averaging like 22, 23 points a game. 23, 5, and 5, bro, on like 39% shooting from the three-point line. I'm like, Reeves is shooting like 34%. I mean, you have to go with the law of averages. I get it. Sometimes the three-point shots will fall off, but Murray cooked us again the other night, man. I'm like, come on, we got to just give it a shot, worst-case scenario. If not, they got to try to upgrade their wing position and upgrade their big position because Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes aren't cutting it, bro. And I like Wood, but Wood is just, he's so offensively minded that he doesn't do a whole lot else, like hustling. And he'll get rebounds sometimes, and other times he just forces it and tries to post up, and then he ends up losing the ball and turnover, and he'll just stand around, and then now we're getting scored on in transition. It's like, dude, and his three-point shot's been inconsistent as well. So it's like they brought you in for rebounding, and it brought you in for three-point shooting, but you can't do either consistently. And that's been the biggest problem. We might as well call this team the Los Angeles Inconsistencies instead of the Los Angeles Lakers at this time. So, yeah, that's all I got to say, man. I'm tired of venting about it. You know, I know it's an up-and-down season. It's a long season. We got 30-some-odd games left. I'm a huge fan and not giving up. I hope that the Lakers turn things around. But at the end of the day, man, it's all basketball. So we'll see what happens in the next week or so about the updates on the trade deadline. If you all like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You guys have a blessed week.